So things are a little complicated, this setup. I was mentioning it earlier, but we have the Furality video is playing on my laptop. It has the Twitch chat feed, and that's being sent to VRCDN and is coming here in world into VR chat, very low latency. We are seeing it. I'm seeing it. It's being transmitted from my gaming system, OBS capture, to my streaming box over NDI, and then up to Twitch, which y'all who are talking to us through text right now and watching this remotely are receiving. Sorry, my train of thought derailed right there. So if we have any issues, and they're likely, please be patient. I am going to be attempting to stream this at 1080 into this world, so if you do have any lag, keep that in mind. It will catch up. The resync button is over there on the wall to your right, if you need to press it. Folks watching on Twitch shouldn't be a problem because unless VRCDN explodes, because I've got gig fiber, but that doesn't mean one of my systems won't decide it wants to have a hissy fit. So this video is actually very slightly modified from the original one that I did. I added about a minute of footage at the end that I had originally wanted to put in, but I ran out of time. As it was, I had to cut out 3 minutes of music from the original recording. So what we saw at Furality, and what we're going to see here is not the full recording. It's a slightly chopped up one that I had to compress for time. Unfortunately, I think in retrospect, I made a mistake in which parts to cut. But it worked out. It worked fine. I did take out the section where I was scratching, which kind of sucked, but it is what it is. Other than that, let's get started, and I will be blah blah blahing as we go and talking about it. I guess there is one more forward. I did not intend to make this story. I had originally wanted to do something that was specifically Furality Aqua. Switch. I do scratching in house. I do this combination of crossfader with layered effects, so it gives this very spooky sort of echoey ambiance. And I use complex rhythms, so I'm using it almost as percussion. It's really cool. I think it's a really cool effect. I've never heard anybody else do it, so I like to use it as a fill instrument in long, boring segues, or just to increase the intensity of a break or a build. It's very cool for doing that. Yeah, but I don't. It's not. This isn't like traditional scratching. It's a little more avant-garde.
It's claw scratching.
Claw scratching, yeah. I had originally wanted to do a story that was specifically based around Furality Aqua, but the lore for Furality Aqua and even Furality Luma is a closely guarded secret for some reason. Apparently, there are certain people you can talk to who will spill the beans, but there is no official word on it. They're not supposed to share it. You're not supposed to talk about it. So I went with what I had. The original concept from this came from one single song, and the song is near the it's happens during the climax. It's EDM track. But I'll point it out when we hear it. The entire set was came about from that song, and the rest of it sort of grew organically. And we'll talk about the changes in the story as we went. It built itself. From that song, I sort of threw stuff together until I got a mood, and the plot developed, and the set developed concurrently. So they sort of built off of each other in this very, excuse the pun, organic sort of fashion. But let's get this started, and off we go.
This is a strawberry potato mix.
Yeah, I really do not tell the lore of Luma. This Luma part is recorded at the Finn's room in the Luma world. Now, the way I put all this together, I only took a finite amount of footage, and to fill 57 minutes would have been a lot of footage. So using it's a very sort of AMV feel combined with methodology like of Interstellar, or was it 69999, whatever, the Daft Punk animated movie. But it's a lot of quick cuts, repeated scenes, and I do like steps through them and then full run-throughs of them to sort of build intensity and sync along with the music. There's a lot of layered effects just to put things together, and it's sort of like taking one step forward. Yeah, that's Silent Cutie, thank you. It's taking a few steps forward, a few steps back, a few steps forward. And one thing you'll notice is that there is a built-in flashback every once in a while. That was Vermin. Vermin was playing the squirrel, Hazel, which coincidentally is the name of the squirrel that I play now in VR chat, and we'll talk more about that later. This was not supposed to be a Mary Sue, and it's sort of turned into one. Well, it's Emperor Mars made a really amazing avatar. It moved so well, it worked so naturally. I did not expect to fall in love with the squirrel, but after playing the squirrel for so long and watching the way they moved and just felt, it was like, I have to have this character. This needs a character. So it sort of developed off of that. Are we the same one? I don't know. This was Vermin. I was filming Vermin. I remember yelling at him because it was like, lean back and kick your feet. What do you mean lean back and kick your feet? Lean back and kick your feet. I am kicking my feet. No, put your feet out and kick your feet. There you go.
I can see Vermin doing that. Oh my god.
So we're just getting a feel for the idyllic nature of the Luma tree.
Luma.
Not technically condoned by Furality, so maybe it's not really the Luma tree, but we'll call it the Luma tree.
Well, we don't talk about Luma lore. It's weird though. Like, why?
I don't know.
Just to create
It's
excitement around. I don't know.
I think it's a build up anticipation and hype. Yeah, hype.
Just saying, the Wizard of Oz did it, and it was just a dude behind a curtain.
Well, we are all technically faces behind a curtain, so.
True. That is very introspective of you.
I had originally thought about having a storm blow Hazel out of the tree and sweep them off into the river, but I thought that would have been hard to execute, and I found this really nice corner here. I was like, what if I'll just see something glowing in the water and fall in? Now, I do want to say, when I started this, I did do it in order of the story. I didn't really jump around. I had never touched a video editor in my life beyond cutting things and screaming at them because I couldn't figure it out.
You did this on FPC, right? Or FCP?
Yeah, Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut.
That little scene where he fell in the water, I'm never gonna be happy with that. It just looked so. I would have liked to actually fall in the water, but I kept using VRC lens, and VRC lens was drifting as I placed it. Just drifted. I really like.
Yeah, the more I use Final Cut, the more I'm like, this is fun. So did it actually create the water droplets on the lens for you?
No,
when you're
that's
in
a
the water?
filter. That's a filter.
Okay.
And that big fall, I actually slowed it down so it looked like gravity was playing a part and built some tension there. This is the sailing world. Beautiful water in the sailing world, my goodness.
Constantly amazed at some of the worlds that these people build where you're like, how did you do that?
And I got a lot of questions about about the real footage from the ocean. It's like, that's not real, that's from a world.
What?
And the original intent of using the sailboat is there used to be a shark that would kill you. I think it's just called sailing, Thurl. But if you went out too far in the water, a shark would come and eat you. And that was supposed to be the segue. Oh, I like this one. This is a good one.
Oh, it was in the looks good. I like
Sailing,
that.
I can confirm.
What's that?
That was between the two worlds.
The world is
Sailing, yeah.
literally called sailing. Literally that.
But yeah, that was supposed to be the segue between this one and the next one, was getting attacked by the shark, as if, oh no, we've got a monster, but he still survived. So these are all filters, these are not the actual day shifting, but the idea is that Hazel is in the water a long time, going who knows where. They are very lost at this point and desperate.
Going to Brazil.
Get sick on Brazil.
Love to go to Brazil.
Unfortunately, the fix for close-in stuff when you have a tiny avatar was not in at this point, so you can see the hands clipping. I had to do a lot of creative clipping to get that to work.
Wow, that felt good.
And this is District Roboto. I love District Roboto. It has such a... It's alive. Of all the VR chat worlds, despite this being robots, it has so much life in it. It's really amazing what they did with it.
It looks a lot like Stray.
Yeah. Right. Every time I see Stray, I cannot stop thinking about that world and this video that you made actually.
It's very eerily similar.
Similar. Yeah.
I still need to play that.
I think you'd like it. I started playing it. I haven't
Make a
kept
let's play
playing it,
YouTube.
but
Make a let's play YouTube now. Let's play on Twitch.
ow, 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 ow. See, there's even cats.
I like this transition because we get into the chaos of the percussion and then I just beat the shit out of it with a rumble filter. Hey Fargo, yeah right, it just looks so good.
Well, yeah, it looks good there, bud. Sorry, that's from Fargo.
So all of the on-beat effects were manually done. I could not find any good plugins that would do on-beat effects, so I had to do them all myself. There was a lot of zooming into the waveform.
Hi, Jay.
Hey Jay, kiss.
The more I use Final Cut, the more it's like, this is such a powerful, easy to use software that like, it just like, every time I use it, I'm like, oh wow, this was a lot easier than I thought. I keep getting better and better. Amazing software.
We had a preview of the cat robot character,
Whoa.
Vector, there.
That's my favorite one. I love the robot. I like when they have paws.
Yeah. Was that Dev?
Where did you?
Every character has a name and that's amazing.
Yeah. What's that, Forrest?
Where did you find that avatar? Was it part of Mr. Roboto World?
I came across it somewhere. It's called the Meowrin robot, I think, by can't remember their name. They made they made Kits' avatar. So what he's drinking
Spoilers.
is, I called it sustenance. It's basically battery fluid. It is a energy. It's what they use. It's what they live on.
Love drinking that.
Mistakes I made was my characterization of substance. I made it look like it was a drug, and I really wanted it to I wanted the happy part, the party part, to be indicative of the endorphin rush of living life large, of being healthy and having fun and happiness. It wasn't supposed to be a drug trip. It was supposed to be Hazel feels good again. Hazel it feels alive. They're free, they've got a friend. Yeah, basically robot protein water, I guess.
Vitamin water for robots.
Yeah, exactly. The fresh battery zing is like, it's like when we eat food, when we eat solid food, you feel better. The calories go through your body and you get a zing, you know, you get that rush of, hey, I'm alive again. So Hazel has washed up through the sewer here, and the implication is that, okay, this was, I thought this was clever. Vector is a street rat, a street cat. So they are literally lifting their substance off of people, off of the co-inhabitants. And you will notice a lot of the scenes with Vector are glitchy. That's intentional. He's supposed to be jittery, he's hyperactive. He's just sort of all over the place, but he enjoys his life despite being an urchin. Here we are, stealing more substance. This song, ironically, is called I think it's the Hungarian Suicide Song. This is a remix of it by B. Svensson. The remix that this is based, or the song this remix is based on, is by Billie Holiday. We filmed these scenes in. Most of the filming was done by Berman and I. I can't remember what the world was called, like Twilight or Shadow Theater or something. They have RGB lights and cutouts to do shadows. I wanted
So
it
this
to
was
be
done in VRC.
This stuff, the spinning and zooming, Final Cut. VR Chat was all the lights. This is straight from VR Chat.
Wow.
They have these flashlights that you can shine, and it'll split the shadows.
That's really fucking cool.
Yeah, Faribault, this is one of the favorite tunes I have in my crate. It's a really good song.
Is there any music Strawberry makes that people don't like?
We're not gonna talk about that. Smacking people on the street, my goodness.
What's their hair made of, I wonder?
I didn't like this bit. It just, the cut in the middle just seems weird.
I think if the tail extended out into the cut, that's just jarring.
So now the music has turned sort of darker. We've got a more ominous mechanical feel to it.
Distortion.
What's that?
Well, a lot of it. Quite a lot of distortion is over the tracks.
Yeah. I had to put focus on the squirrel because Hazel just disappeared in that scene, so I tried to do it creatively. That was Berman's idea. So we're gonna see the Luma tree a lot. You'll notice it gets more and more distorted as we go along. That's indicative of Hazel's memory. The longer Hazel is away, the more distorted and washed out and faded those memories become. coincidental that we were in a big open space in which that sort of echo would be appropriate.
Do you have a relative sense for how long Hazel is there?
It's on the order of months, I think. We've got the memories distorting here.
The abundance of echo just like adds to the scene as well.
Yeah. So Hazel's hungry. That was the stomach growling there, the little distortion. And now it gets really ominous. Sustenance makes you strong. Sustenance fills you up.
And this is exactly where this concept of drugs so much.
This is where it looks like a drug trip, yeah. It's the partying, the colors, and I do regret not finding a different way to express that because a lot of people focused on, oh, it's about a squirrel tripping balls. It's like, oh, it's only a part of it that they're partying, they're living life up. And I mean, the whole thing is it's about cannibalistic consumerism. The whole story is about cannibalistic consumerism. Opportunities to go inside, and this here we have you're gaining weight off the fat of the land. You're eating it all. You're getting fat off of your success. There are a lot of opportunities going inside of the buildings for more food, but it would have been hard to. I couldn't figure out how to carry that sort of stuff. Do I carry burgers? Do I carry the sushi? Because one of the indoors in District Roboto is a grill. Yeah, a lot of people, Farival, a lot of people did focus on it being, oh, it's about drugs, and I regret losing that focus.
So dumb question. But if they had hamburgers, where would the meat have come from? Would the robots have synthesized it?
That's irrelevant. I don't know. That was another thing. It's like it's irrelevant to the story. I did think about making that come from other forest creatures, but it was easier with this track. It made more sense given the resources I had. So Hazel's looking through the glass, and there's all these boats out there, and all they can see is their memories fading. This choice of track has a very, I think it's Pajaro Azul. It's two of the same track, one the original going into the remix. But it has a childlike innocence to it, and that's Hazel. That's Hazel doing this, doesn't know what's happening, just sort of rolling with it. But unknowingly consuming this sort of energy beverage that's has a nefarious origin. The guitar was completely coincidental. This dude was just there, and it synced up with the editing, and I was like, oh shit, I've got like 5 minutes away from this dude playing guitar in the section of the music where there's a guitar. You were saying something, Tim?
And combine it.
Yeah, I just rolled with it.
The way you like your actual like context idea that you actually wanted to portray versus the one that you accidentally portrayed.
Yeah.
I can it just changes like the meaning of like what comes later a little bit, but I still see, yeah, kind of like the idea.
before I
And with the
couldn't get
context
the
that
lore. Well, before I couldn't get the lore,
the context that...
Go ahead, sorry.
Let's go.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Go on.
You said before you couldn't get the lore.
Okay.
Oh,
Hold on. Where's the reset?
Okay, so essentially
State.
the lore still made sense without like your context, but with your context that you just gave me, I think I get what's happening now. I think
Yeah.
I get like the picture of everything that's going on now.
So they're playing hide and
Everything makes
seek.
sense now.
It wasn't very clear, and I couldn't really figure out how to do it. You know, you're right. I tried, but I couldn't fit an explanation, and I didn't
didn't
want to
think she
do
was-
an actual countdown.
Yeah.
So here's our first flashback.
Scary.
And the idea was that people coming in would see this and be like, oh, that's what happened up to this point. I never stopped to think that Aqua would use such a disjointed screen setup. It was not meant for a square video. It was meant for half circles and shapes. This presentation was... It didn't work with it. Yeah, I like to do the skip, and then do from beginning to end. And I didn't have tracker smoothing at the time of this, so you see these little jiggles when I do abrupt movements. Yeah, Farival, that's the problem. A lot of people were there just for the tunes, and I didn't anticipate that either. I figured people would be watching and not dancing, and people were actually wiggling and grooving. It's like, this isn't... I have made a miscalculation.
Well, I was really excited because you've been talking about it for weeks.
Was that Dev?
When I cried. Yeah, sorry,
It's an
Jeff.
accident.
Yeah.
What makes me wonder how many people like the second time watched it more intently because the people that were talking about it.
Fargo, nice. So this scene is where I started getting a handle on Final Cut, so things become a little more, I think the scenes are more full of motion and just intensity. That was Vermin, and look at this perfect turn. Watch this perfect turn. I thought this sequence was clever here. The zoom in at the end.
Yep.
This scene where he drinks, I did like 20 times until I realized I couldn't sync my hand with my mouth. Because I don't know this avatar very well, the Alpha Gen, until I realized I'll just drink facing the screen, so then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in my mouth.
Movie magic. At
Yeah,
its finest.
basically. The vials were single things I got off of Booth, the credits at the end, but I built a little cage and stuck them all together and put that on the avatar as a activatable object.
Now we know the origin.
Another regret I have is that I didn't show other animals. I just did chicken noodles, so I never thought that people would focus on, oh, it's made of this weird little green animal. It's like, no, it's made of animals in general. And I do show a dog in a test tube, but it's not clear enough. And I would have shown more animals on the tubes, especially more squirrels. But hindsight. Thank you, Fireball. It's an adventure. It was a journey. And there's a dog in the thing, but it's not really clear that this one's also being extracted.
At the very least, it's experimented on, which is already questionable.
Yeah. So here's Hazel trying to vomit up quite a lot of sustenance that they've consumed over a while. Good luck.
Those alternatively look like a bit of a panic attack, so...
Yeah, it's definitely a panic attack.
Yeah.
I'm especially proud of this sequence. It took me 3 days to do this sequence. Also a little Easter egg for the macros and micros. I mean, come on, the Alpha Gen has pretty nice foot paws. They're pretty nice.
It does. So what was the weirdest, like, response you got? Like, for someone you're like, wow, you just didn't get it? Or, like, just something that was just, like, off the wall?
It's the drug stuff. The repeated comments about it being a drug trip and whatnot that was the frustrating part.
I'm sorry.
I was just learning how to do masks here, so this one was a little clumsy around the vial. Thank you, Fireball. I appreciate that. Hazel's done with it. This is fucked up. They're so done with this. And you'll notice this was the intro scene, but there's no Hazel this time. Now the dark thoughts have begun. Television flashback was also coincidental. I did not do this scene with the intent to put video in those televisions, but they were there and I was like, this is perfect. This is completely perfect. So clearly Vector doesn't care. Vector might have even known about this. Vector might have even been planning to turn Hazel into sustenance. So it's like, Hazel's freaking out. It's like, what do we do now? And Vector's like, oh, it just makes us strong. You gotta drink it. You gotta drink this stuff.
Further feeding that drug preconception.
Yeah.
By accident.
But I mean, we are addicted to food. And people don't look past the drug. We are addicted to consumption. In a very general sense, we are all addicted to consumption of resources of a particular sort. People like to focus on drugs as a problem, but it's like everything is an addiction.
This story makes sense with drugs, though.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine that like they're sober from alcohol, but I feel like they've kind of translated having like a sex addiction.
Forrest, you're creeping over on top of me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit my controllers like that. I took my headset off briefly. Am I good now?
You're good.
Okay.
So this was an experiment with the one sound-activated plugin that I could find, and it was very limited. So we've got Hazel sleeping on the street now because they don't want to hang out. They don't want to hang out with Vector anymore. Vector is not good. But Vector wants to know where Hazel is. Vector's looking. This is where it was handy to have all these animated characters there so that I could pantomime the search.
So does Vector not understand why Hazel's freaking out, essentially?
No, this is Vector's way of life. This is how Vector was raised, and now Vector's in a cage. Vector's in a cage that they don't understand because we all freak out when we realize that we are trapped in these systems. We have denial.
It's hard to switch over as well.
It is, and we react with confusion and anger and frustration. And that was an echo fade. We talked about that last time, Dev. I had to do it to prove that I could after messing it up on Luma. So the implication here, I thought it was obvious, but there is a factory beyond that door. Unfortunately, the colliders are very restrictive, so I couldn't actually go through the door, even with PlaySpace Mover. And I had to just sort of fake it. You just sort of fold over in half when you try to go through the door. This dude knows where Hazel is. This dude saw Hazel. So Hazel's in a bad place right now, obviously. They want to return home, but they can't. There's no way. They don't have the means. So things start to go a little south. a really cool world. It's all automated. It's basically ironworks. Tried to emulate a drone, doing a fly through here with the shifts in direction. A lot of heat filtration on this one, the heat effect. So many heat effect clips. I found a really cool plugin that does shaped God rays. And it intelligently determines edging, so it looks so I can create projections of light with it.
Oh my god, Strawberry, I am so excited.
So Hazel now has an out. Faraval, it's at the end. All the worlds are listed at the end. I think it's a Japanese name. To turn my full body on with Hazel here. Filming in that Steelworks was the most frustrating experience of my VR life. I had mods were around at the time, but they didn't help. The colliders were so random. They're not mesh colliders. They set up automatic shape colliders. And getting into some of these spaces was freaking impossible. It turned out that the best way to do it was to use Sora Griffin's flying avatar and get up high, turn into the squirrel, and fall into holes in the colliders.
That sounds like an incredibly frustrating way to do that.
I was inventing curse words.
Okay, I'm gonna steal that one day.
For next time, grab a dictionary of Polish language and then just find random swear words and use them.
Yeah.
Learn them. And then create new swear words from them.
Good idea. So now we have Hazel with some very sort of interesting imagery. The wings. Hazel is giving up. Hazel is like, my escape is here. And this was not supposed to be a story about suicide. The original intent was that they would get chased by robots into a factory and Hazel would get knocked into a vat of fire. But that seemed trite. And the more that I played the set, the more I practiced it, and the more the transitions and the mood came out. Sorry. The more it became about Hazel giving in. You'll see the plumetry inside of the fire. It's like if he can get into the fire, then he will go home.
Who's right? Do it again. For a lie that leads for the night. Take it with you.
And when you get to that state, you do stuff that doesn't make sense. You see escape in things that don't make sense.
Caught in a game.
The memories are coming back. Everything is reforming. The distortion and the saturation is restoring. And all the shit that he's done with the sustenance is fading away. This is the memory now.
The sun lets you see.
knows something's up.
under the earth. Under the
Now everything's become super saturated. It's become unrealistic. We're finding the ideal. This is the headspace now.
It's in the dream that you are. Don't blow up your mind. You don't need to be noticed. Don't need to be kind.
Oh shit.
You can see Hazel's hand is sticking out. It's because I forgot to put it down when I was pulling the VRC lens in and out. Yeah, the original plot in this was just trite. The whole being chased by Protogen with the police Protogen. I was going to use the police Protogen to chase them, but it just didn't have any gravity. And the music, the songs that came out were just no. This is serious. This is not a cartoon. This is
It's a personal journey.
it is. And then I started thinking about the friends I've lost and my own mental journey through some of these places. I've never actually attempted it, but those thoughts have been there. And you'll see here the sorrow becomes overwhelming.
It's a rush of blood.
Yeah, Fargo, this song just kills me every time.
Caught in a game. I won't let you keep all of my words. All of my words.
I will say this is where this is the segment that went a bit over long. I had to dig through every clip, and I do a lot of repetition here, and it was hard to keep up the intensity just because that segment of the song kept going. But in retrospect, I think it was important to indicate the struggle. This isn't an instant thing. This happens over time. We're often blind to it happening to us and to those around us. Very good at putting on a happy face.
Social media doesn't help that.
No, it doesn't.
yeah.
It's easy to hide.
And again, you'll see that there is no Hazel there. That was a real pain in the ass to get rid of. And here's the overwhelming depression and sorrow. Just time is up. And this is the song that started this set.
The way it just works with music, exactly. Yeah. It's the music that came first, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
It wouldn't have been the same if they were just being chased by police robots. It had to mean something.
Yep.
I will say getting on the edge of that thing was the biggest pain in the ass. It took me 3 hours to film
you
that
know-
sequence of standing there and then jumping into it. And I'm pretty sure I was cursing when I recorded that. But oddly enough, the motions are in time with the music, even though I wasn't listening to the music at the time. And I was channeling a lot of memories here.
It's the heart of the
Comes
cards.
off- It literally just comes off more from the heart as well. In a way.
They're above it. This is their resolve. This is the moment of indecision has passed. And they're gonna do it. They're ready. They're
It's
ready.
just like Jay.
Yeah.
I would interpret it as just like final pods, I guess. And you know, just clearing off all the final struggles and everything.
And I couldn't actually do a fall because of the colliders, so it's just implied.
Well, as someone who has. Go ahead, Travis. Sorry, it's your set.
From the start, the hand going down to save Hazel was in time with the music. There was always that scene. And the moment has passed now. The moment of resolution has passed because his friend is back, and you know there's always that little voice that says, "Don't do this. This is not right. You're giving up." And he's waking up from this state. They're looking around. It's like, oh, where am I? And Vector has made the decision that they are not going to support this anymore, and they're saying, I'm going to take you through these places, and we're going to go back. I'm going to take you back. But what he doesn't say right now is the cost to him. And now you see them running together. This shot was not reverse. I did not know how to use a video editor when I filmed this, so I spent 30 minutes using my old video game reflexes and backing the RC lenses drone out blind through those alleys.
That looks really good.
Especially for how you said it, you did it, yeah.
I would have guessed that was a reverse.
It would have been easier to do that, and nobody would have been able to tell the difference, but I didn't know I could do that, so I did the old way. I have so many clips of going through the wall with that drone. And now we get a hint at the cost to Vector.
And yeah, there's something you told me about like the pacing of kind of is here, like pacing. The credits mess up the pacing a little bit, but They would have messed up the pacing even more if they were put later.
Well,
I wouldn't say like they messed up the pacing. It just feels weird. I remember what I put out. Yeah.
I think it works because it's built like a movie. It's built like you get a zinger at the end of a conclusion. It could have ended here. They've gone off to. He's going to take them the Hazel home. It could have ended there, but this was a segue to show travel while doing credits and giving it sort of that cinematic feel. I mean, that was a conscious choice, was to do it here. It also sort of suits the music. The music is sort of contemplative.
I see.
Organic. And these are all worlds that Vermin and I have visited over the years of VR chat.
Vector's getting tired.
Vector is definitely getting tired. This is one of those song combinations that just works so well. That wasn't planned. Vermin's playing Hazel, and I thought it was so hilarious that they climbed up there, so those are legitimate laughs. So I'm sitting there trying not to clip through the wall with my hand, and I see this squirrel through the camera climbing up and then going at me.
Did he actually go
Vermin, of course he did.
I love you, Vermin.
This is the clock from Golden Udon. It's a really nice clock. Take My Hand Udon is such a beautiful world from the ground.
I think it took me about a year before I figured out why all the worlds were called Udon.
Yeah. Also, it's a low gravity world, so the squirrel kept going flying. So excited, home is right over that mountain. Okay, shut up, I'm really tired. Originally wanted to have more squirrels in the opening sequence, but I couldn't make things work to sync people being online. Also, I was kind of embarrassed about doing this whole thing, because it's like, what do I know? What right do I have to do this sort of thing? So, just being neurotic.
But you did it. Kind of pioneered something, at least.
Now Vector sees. Vector's like, this is so beautiful.
Who has no walk cycle?
Yeah.
Yeah. So separate the FBT versus non-FBT users.
Well, not only that, but at the time you could only mods would do that. It wasn't an unmodded option.
What was it, a modded option?
turning off locomotion animation. I couldn't get the arm to stop twitching, so I had to do a still.
Also, I believe locomotion could be disabled without mods, just through.
There was a checkbox in Unity, but the mod let you just turn it off whenever.
Yes,
Yep.
I had actually turned it off in Unity. There was supposed to be more to this scene, but I ran out of time and had to cut the song.
And
It
that's
still
where you
works.
put it in at the end of this.
No, at the end it's more to the dedication. So right now we see the squirrels reminiscing, Hazel's telling the tale, and so I'm gonna reverse that really quick, just because it's... Hi, Rox.
It's because you have the power in can.
Oops, that was not...
Hi. Woof.
A little more.
I'm Forrest. Because I run.
So, the implication here is that Hazel, or Vector has his battery has died, so he is effectively dead. And he's there, all mossy, his texture has changed. But they've tucked him under the Luma tree. Lore, the one bit of lore that was passed on to me is that no one dies in Luma, so... Being a mechanical, the idea is that this, it's going to take a while for his systems to adapt. They don't really know this; they just live there. But I used that filter I talked about earlier for the God Rays to make it give this big flash, and then you see these glowing runes on Vector that weren't there before. So, despite giving his life, he himself was redeemed. So I added the end of this. Originally, this film was going to be a tribute to Rab, the guy that took his life in 2021, I think it was. But I generalized it, and in this version, these are the people that I have known that took their own lives. Gvelda, Jude, Sino, and Rab. I didn't want it to make a... Given I couldn't do that sort of proper dedication at the end, I didn't want to make it about just one person and be like, off you go. So, I mean, ultimately, it is about everyone. It's not just about my friends. It's about everybody who... Oops, why is that there?
What does it say?
I must have left a frame at the end. But that's the set. That's the video and the explanation behind it. It was not intended to be a story about suicide. It was not intended to be a drug trip. It was... Things just sort of evolved, and I would redo the drug part. I would have come up with something else, food cubes or something, but it was not supposed... The liquid, the glowing liquid was just too easy, and the little trippy party thing was just too indicative of tripping balls. Like I said, I'd redo it if I could, but there it is. And anybody
Well,
want
I
to know
mean,
anything?
you and
about
I,
it? Go ahead, Forrest.
I just wanted to comment because, I mean, you and I talked after your set, and I mean, I have literally been in Hazel's situation where I should not have survived a suicide attempt. And so it's... you kind of asked Favreau, like, what do you think that they were thinking in that moment? And I think that then there's an acceptance of there is no other option.
Yeah.
It's not like a feeling of like, it's not like a blissful feeling. It's like, this is what's left. And so, waking up in that hospital was a lot like...
I mean, you're in absolute agony mentally, and the alternative is a moment of pain versus everything like a lifetime of pain.
But, you said that you didn't, you were like self-conscious about, do you have a right to tell the story? But I think that there's a lot of people out there that need to see that story. And it was, at least from my perspective, it was very accurate, especially those who were fortunate enough to survive those attempts and kind of find those people that they needed, whether then or later on. So that was all.
We're glad that you woke up in the hospital, Forrest.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Fargo and Kiwi and Faraval and everybody else. Thanks for watching. It was I think Vermin's the only one who's gotten the full story on what all of this stuff was. Is I made him watch it over and over and over again, and as I was making it, and little things just kept popping up, and it's like there were so many coincidences and just little things that happened during that just fit so well, and I just rolled with it because sometimes your subconscious knows better than you do. Anyone have any questions or want any extrapolation on anything?
Where did you get started with the songs? Like, what was the guiding force between just kind of picking the first few songs that drove the set?
Well, like I said, it started with shit, I can't remember the name of it. The one where Hazel is about to jump. But that was such a unique song, even from my perspective, someone who doesn't play the typical oons oons oons. It has this symphonic build, this absolute just sort of symphonic and cinematic soundtrack feel to it. It has a very distinct tension that rises to a climax and a resolution, but the climax is very tense, but the revolution is joyous. The revolution has this sort of joy to it and freedom to it. Like, we did it, we won. And it has a very sharp, just like the exclamation. That's the hand going down and saving the squirrel. That's the actual point at which things turn around. The darkness has receded. But that was the very start, and everything else just sort of built up around it. I had, as I do my strawberry jams, or at the time I think I was still doing Monday Meh, or any of my other freestyle sets, I will make note of songs that fit together very, very well. And I'll write that down and I'll keep those in my back pocket for later. And some of those came into bear here. The ending, the song, the two songs, the Under the Earth one combined with, I can't remember the name of it, In the Steel Mill. That was two songs playing almost end to end at the same time that I accidentally played during a freestyle set, and they worked so well. And when I put them together for the set, that was the imagery that they popped up. This was what came into my head. It's like, this sounds like they're in a factory, a mechanical factory, and one of the characters is on the verge of death and is about to be saved by the other one as you go into the final the starting song, the build song. Another one was Pajaro Azul, the childlike innocence one that I wanted to be during the development period of the sort of introduction and to the sustenance part. Everything else got sort of, and the ticking down at the end, that whole idea was in there from the start, was that Vector was going to die. In fact, Vector wasn't even going to be redeemed at the end. That was sort of a last-minute addition when I realized, well, the tree is magic. The Luma tree has power, power beyond what we understand. So I felt that the tree would accept that Vector had sacrificed himself for Hazel, and that I don't actually know if Vector comes back to life or if his mechanical soul was just redeemed. I mean, I kind of leave that up to the viewer. But that redemption was not actually part of the original thing. He just originally wound down and became a monument to his own bravery. And then the other one was the Hungarian Let Us Not Weep, the Hungarian suicide song. that was just so sorrowful. It has this just intense sort of sadness to it, and that was the it's sad, but it has a also has a I don't know, a perkiness. It's like you're depressed and you're putting a face on it. You're putting a happy face on it, which, given it's the Hungarian suicide song, was pretty appropriate. Hi, Warren. Welcome to the very end.
Hi.
Hey, Carmel.
That's alright. I'll be starting my
Welcome to the very end. How ominous.
my.
I was
I'm
also
starting,
welcome to the end.
Yes, I'm opening set for
Nice.
IBT tonight.
Oh, cool. Oh, you're playing IBT and then Wicked Wednesday?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool.
Ah.
But yeah, the
I
other...
And I got the DDD 1000 set up mostly.
Nice. But those were the main songs that put it all together, and everything else became segues between that were carrying the mood. I categorize all of my music by adjectives describing the moods and the sort of intent that I feel in the song, whether it's joyful, whether it's sad, whether it's dark, whether it's ominous, etc., etc. I also have ones that are listed under protogen, which are very sort of severe mechanical sounding songs. The villain theme in my legend set is a protogen song, and a lot of the sort of harsher, angry sounding ones are protogen songs. I did also put in a deep house song, which was the Nora and Pure one, mostly just because I really like Nora and Pure. But that sort of became it was a little too love themey, but I think it worked. That was played when Hazel went off after discovering the sustenance and having the disagreement with Vector. So that was sort of a wistful, mournful tune about loss and love and being separated from the one you love. And they were very good friends, and that's the implication, is that they were friends. And when this happened, it hurt both of them immensely, and that led to Hazel's sorrow. This was Hazel's only connection in this scary new world. And just when Hazel starts to feel comfortable, this gets dropped on them, and they don't know whether Vector was going to shove them in one of those vats or not. I mean, when you get into a situation like that, it's easy to fall into that sort of distortion and wonder about the intent. It's just very easy to do that. But that deep house song just has a very nice feel that felt perfect for that. But a lot of it was just it worked for the story, and then the story worked for the music. So it was, as each one came more into focus, it helped the other one to narrow in. So it's very complimentary for everything. And I will say that I don't know if my squirrel is that Hazel or not. Maybe they are. I'm not sure, but I really enjoyed the physicality of the squirrel avatar. So I made one. I made my own.
Side request: if you make another video, will you do the outtakes of you? Will you keep the cursing? Because I would like to hear that.
I would have to go back and hi. I would actually go. Output is still in there. I think it probably is. I'm actually kind of curious.
Like a new video, and I'm sure you'll end up cursing a lot on that one too. With some outtakes.
We can make it as bloopers, put it on TikTok, put it on YouTube, put it on Furality.
Actually, I do need to make a TikTok with you, Strawberry. I need to get something with your beans.
Oh, my beans?
Your beans.
Hold on.
I came up with it on the road.
Oh god, all the TikTokers wake up
We
now.
can put
gosh.
Strawberry's beans on TikTok? I mean, I was just gonna put her whole body there. That sounds illegal.
That does sound illegal.
Everyone's fighting
We can do that. We can do that thing.
Put
The
it-
clause.
Who's gonna be
See,
the
I like
first one
that.
to put Strawberry on TikTok? And how much of Strawberry? It's a fight now.
No, I was running and the
You can tug on them.
How are you doing?
I think it's
I'm okay.
the ignition came on
Okay, just relax.
because it's on my playlist and it was like this thing right here is let all the ladies know what guys talk about. You know, the finer things in life.
Yeah, Farewell. Maybe I will do an outtakes. That could be fun. I'll go through the footage and hi.
The nose ring is probably sorry.
It is. I'll go through the footage and see if there's anything funny in there. That's a good idea. That could be worth a laugh. I'm not familiar with the special cut Kiwi. I'll look that up. But there is actually a version of the audio that's 3 minutes longer. That is uncut. I probably ought to put that up somewhere.
Just call it
The alternative upload.
Call it what?
Release the butthole. Release the butthole cut.
Release the butthole cut. Oh my god.
What?
Let's
No,
not. Let's
Did you hear
not.
about that?
No.
No. All right. Well, I am going. I
This
am
is
going
the
to.
Zack Snyder cut.
I am going to go ahead and Patreon reward. Wow. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the Twitch stream now. And thank you. Give me a moment, please. Thank you all for watching.
Good night. Have a beautiful time.
Yeah. Good night, all. Good night, everyone on Twitch. Here, let me pull the camera over here, and we can all. Where's the?
Wait, there's a
I
camera.
figured there was one.
Love you.
Yes, you're on. You're on
It's right behind you.
Twitch. Yes.
You're on Candid.
I know it's here somewhere.
Where the hell is
You
the
guys
camera?
remember America's
Yeah.
Funniest Home
You
Videos?
could potentially rate
I
me
do.
because I'll be joining it
That's
up
what this is.
top of the hour. Is that in earnest?
Oh, no. Excuse me, that
Feel
was
like
not
you
a funny home video.
I could read
Well,
you if
now it
folks
is.
want to stick
Not a
around
rapper.
and listen to us jabber for 15 minutes. I don't know if
Do you like
anyone's
that?
into that. But wave to the Twitch folks. Hi.
All right, wait, folks.
Happy dog. Bye, Kiwi. Oh, I can't do it.
Bye. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. Bye, Kiwi. It's not quite high pitched enough.
Yay! I love it. It's close enough. You went from tickle me Elmer to tickle me Elmo, so I'm happy.
Tickle me Elmer.
That's me. I was good night, Kiwi.
Elmer. Oh God.
Perfect smiley face.
Wow.
I love you, Kiwi.
Smiley face.
Oh yeah, you can get all the way up to the rafter in one hop.
There's also a jump puzzle on a tower outside.
You did make it harder. I heard about it. I didn't
I
trust
did,
them,
yeah.
but
There's
they were
two-
right.
There's 2 jumps now. And
Strawberry's very good at that.
in the next major update, there will be 3 jumps. And then eventually, I'll take the high jumping off and do double jumping instead.
Hmm.
Yeah,
This is going to turn into an
It is slightly harder. It's gonna what?
This is going to be a Destiny world eventually. Or it's going to be a Destiny world eventually, which is like Destiny-style jump puzzles.
There's a zombie game, one of those Furality things that's actually a shooter. It's like it's really well done. That could actually be done here.
That's what you should do next year. Is like do
I'm gonna
a
say
like
hi to
on, just
another
on
person. I'm
Halloween
probably gonna log off for a
or like
second.
Halloween Sunday service. Do like a zombie shooter.
Yeah.
There you go. Just
Well,
here you go, Kiwi. Just for you. Let me turn the mirror on so I can see what I'm doing.
We'll do.
You have a good rest of your night.
do I need to? Oh my god, what have I done? Give me camera. Do you need
See
to?
you later.
Phone mode.
Wait, where's the camera? There you go.
No, let's see.
You're in the couch.
Oops, that's play space move. That's play space mover. That's me dead for some reason. That does not work. There.
This I can't explain.
No one can explain
I wasn't
me.
expecting you to.
I am Forrest, the unexplainable.
The unexplainable.
Son of Eugene, the irrelevant.
Oh crap! I should have kept talking. We got 10 minutes to kill before we raid over to Warren's.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Although I mean, you could also when you start your pre-roll though, we can raid over then.
Yeah, pre-roll's already going.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, just a beat.
I love you too, Kiwi.
Apparently that's another bug that's reappeared. Dev is low frame rate for me.
Hold on, let's do something here.
It used to be a problem before as well, and then they fixed that too. You are stuttering on my end.
Yeah, Dev is extremely low frame rate.
Oh, you see that
Yeah,
too?
don't worry about that. That happens every time.
Oh.
If I stay in a
Yeah,
world for
rejoining
an
the
hour,
world.
it happens. It happens every time.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because
I used to.
That's. I
Sorry,
think
carry
that's netcode because that happens specifically to me and me only.
Excuse me.
It's nothing
I've
on
had
the
other
out,
friends
no
that
matter
have-
the avatar, it happens. No matter
I
what.
had other friends
I
with the
still
exact
queue.
problem
It
too,
happens.
but they fixed that at some point, and I haven't seen this problem between then and now.
They
Basically,
say
and here it is again.
they say they fixed that. They say they fixed that, but there are still people to this day on their forums. Just like that's portal.
What's that?
Yeah, in my experience, it was fine for a few months, and now it's back.
mentioning that there's a they're mentioning that there's a problem. They've been mentioning it for several months as well. There is a problem, and they're not being acknowledged. So something that
Yeah.
was never acknowledged and fixed since, I guess, because they theoretically fixed it, so they don't care. I guess.
Okay.
There's a
All
bunch
I
of
know is that
assets in
I'm
my
having
head.
this uninterrupted for months now. So
I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's
wow.
a bodily function, QE. I can't help it. It's it's natural.
sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it does happen, and I have no idea what's up.
That's
So-
cute if you're going to.
That sucks.
Okay, let's. There we go. So
So rejoin the world every hour it is for me anyway. Yeah.
Oops, I'm
coming.
flying.
and then we'll raid it. We'll raid over when you're ready.
Yep. Yep. Gotta kill world volume. Holy fuck.
I brought the wrong avatar to
Oh, yeah,
set
sorry,
up
I
my
didn't-
fun balls.
I didn't set the volume right here.
No. It's more of me being.
Yeah, your signal is a bit hot. I'm down to like almost half on OBS. There we go.
Yeah, very quick request.
Yeah.
Come on, where is Grizzdog?
Like- But maybe not the entire time. But
There he
whenever you-
is.
whenever you
He's
see any clipping
red.
of the
Do not disturb. Wonderful.
What'd I do?
just let me know.
I was turning off the
not let me
couch.
know. Just take a
Oh, yeah.
picture of it.
Go.
Send it over to me so I can
Wait.
fix it. tomorrow.
I got it here. Since you guys, special
I
guest
need
star.
to fix like some exact spots actually in some poses.
I appreciate the fact that he thought that nobody would use these again. I really do.
And right now it would be on the underside. I mean, you can see.
Oh look, it's
You
scaling.
can see that all over the place right now.
I used this the other day when he was here, and he was like,
Yeah.
"You know, I just made these on the set that I had." I'm like,
That's what I want
"Yeah,
pictures of, just so I
isn't
can
that
fix the
weird?"
exact spots. You know, figure that out.
Like the really expressive
backwards the
DJs
whole
on
time.
TikTok, they're like, "You're like, bro, you can just spin the knob. It's cool. Like it'll work either way." You just watch people like, "All right, bro, chill, relax. It's fine. Just don't break it."
It's strawberry.
Sorry, I screwed up the camera. 1 second.
No, don't do that.
Why
I was still in
is
flying mode.
he in red
Hi.
status when he's supposed to be my host?
I'm gonna hug you.
Okay, hi.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Of course.
yeah, okay, there we go. You froze for a second. That word.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was gonna walk in on, and then you froze for a second. That word. I stood quietly there for like 20 minutes. Being like, okay.
I turned on Chrome and now I
That was my host. He's in red status for the event.
lovely.
Not responding to Discord pings.
Uh-oh.
You're a banana.
Yeah, yes.
Literal
This
banana.
is my Halloween avatar.
I like it.
You came as a banana?
There we go. Finally got out of red status.
Hey guys, this is a safe for work
Someone
stream.
technically-
Twitch watches this stuff.
I'm
On
gonna
Halloween,
join,
but I'm
and then
showing up with this.
I'm
on
joining the
Halloween,
world that I'm gonna be DJing in. So you want to just join off of me?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
I don't care, but
Okay, let me ping me when it goes.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, well, they're gone. All right.
Womp womp.
I'll raid over to them in a second.
Rate it.
you look
Hi,
you're
Tifa.
a banana.
We're
Bye.
just about to raid
Bye,
over to
Tifa.
Warned.
Uh-oh.
No. Friends not
Rated
good.
wins.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like in this fandom
Go
they can
through
do
the
both.
hatch.
I know. But
I've been working on my Yu-Gi-Oh voice. I need to do some recording with it.
I'm
Have
also
fun.
not mean.
Can you do Kaiba?
Unless someone wants
I
it, then...
can do Yu-Gi-Oh and I can do the Pharaoh.
Hmm.
I don't like Yugi. It's a little too high pitched for me, but I can kind of do Pegasus. I came with a bit earlier.
Ooh, Pegasus. Yes.
What was I? He's so excited by that. It's like kind of do Pegasus. I can do the Pharaoh much better. I can do the Pharaoh much better. Bye, Kiwi. I love you. I'll see you soon.
Bus Kiwi leading. Bye, Kiwi.
yeah.
Bye. Where did I put the camera? Oh, there it
This
is.
is weird for me to be VR on Tuesday. Bye, Kiwi. But no, so I was doing a bit earlier. I was driving my car, so I was practicing a bit where it's just like
of what's clipping and when.
the music's slowing
I
down.
am going
See
to
if
go
I can get my
ahead
voice
and
right.
raid over to Warned now. So I can turn this camera off and go to the bathroom.
Just
Shadow Legend.
Where's my... Oh, I can do it.
I play my-
the inner thigh and the bottom of the thigh.
I play my
totally
condom,
losing
my
mind.
condom spell card, which prevents.
I want you to
hold on.
take a
I
screenshot
play my
right now.
condom spell card, which repels your herpes monsters.
Area. That's affected.
Why?
It's like
Oh, Yugi boy, you've activated.
My flickers like sandwich.
You've activated my pinpricks. You've activated my pinprick trap card, which pokes
Now,
holes in
what
your
impression?
condom. And allows me to protect your
just
life
because we were
points
talking about red all day
directly.
yesterday.
So,
For some reason.
just love the
Yeah.
voice.
And today, I don't know. It's kind of developed into a bit of a trait.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yugi
it's
boy.
endearing.
I destroyed all your monsters, Yugi boy. It looks like you've got no more monsters in your deck, and I can attack your life
that?
points directly.
But that's
Wrong,
what does make me
Pegasus.
hungry.
I still have one more trick up my sleeve. An entire deck.
wanna go in private?
I don't know.
Behold, as I break the rules. Because reasons.
Yeah, I saw.
I wonder, does that mean that...
Oh, Yugi boy, I'm going to I will keep your grandfather's soul in eternal hell unless you
the
defeat me in a
pictures,
children's
the line,
card game.
the walls were they updated then?
Yeah. Thanks for sharing everything and
I don't.
yeah,
Which we've
You're welcome.
even the less comfy parts to talk about.
take your challenge, Pegasus.
Oh, it's,
Appreciate it.
oh my goodness. It's therapeutic to talk
It won't be
about
that
when we're
simple,
on.
Yugi boy. Why don't you
Yes,
come
I
to
was-
my
I was facing that. Oh my
island
God, come on,
that
yeah.
worked so well for Michael Jackson's victims?
Reminded me of some things that were almost tragic, but weren't. So.
Yeah, I think